And welcome back to Live in the Hall. Lou and I are going to visit here with Teresa Bolden, who is the city clerk from the city of Valdosta and also serves as the president of the Georgia, is it Municipal Finance? No, just Municipal Clerks and Finance Officers Association. I know it as GMC FOA. You know, I know the letters, and it's what they all stand for where I get stuck. Teresa, tell us a little bit about the organization. Who are members of this organization?
Well, our organization was formed in 1970 through the efforts of Georgia Municipal Association and Carl Vinson Institute of Government and the Georgia Municipal Clerks and Finance Officers Association in order to help promote training efforts for our clerks and our finance officers in our municipalities. We offer a lot of different programs for our members. We have mentoring programs. We promote our education programs. We also are working on some new initiatives this year, such as a new municipal clerk handbook, which will greatly help our new clerks as they come into the profession.
Because it is such a, I mean, to me, having visited with a lot of city clerks around the state, they are, you know, you guys do so much and such a variety of duties from place to place, depending on the size and complexity of the municipality. So that's got to be difficult when you're coming in as a new clerk.
And Amy, a lot of cities only have one employee who is their city clerk. And that person is doing everything from human resources work to finance work to making sure if they have a water system that things are going right with that. So it's a big variety of duties.
You're right about that, and you know, it's kind of funny because when I became a city clerk, I always thought that every city clerk had the same responsibilities, and lo and behold, I found out very quickly that our clerks in the smaller communities, they have to know everything about everything in their community.
Yes.
And so we tried to provide educational training to help promote their skills and their knowledge in areas that they have to deal with on a daily basis.
Go ahead,
And I was just going to say, for those city clerks in those small cities, it's really difficult for them to get to training because they have to close City Hall down. So how are y'all looking to address that in some way?
We are. We have actually been talking about maybe doing some online training courses. We're also thinking about maybe moving some of our training to different parts of the state because it is very hard for some of these clerks in the smaller towns to get away. So we're thinking if we could move to some different locations other than Athens, that we could draw more of the clerks into our training.
And can you tell us fairly concisely, why is training so important? Why is that something that the association is very active in?
Well, in order for these clerks to perform their jobs to the best of their abilities, they have to have the education and training that they need in order to provide these skills to the citizens in their communities. And the only way that they can get that is through educational training with GMA and Carl Vinson Institute of Government.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize how important the city clerk is to the operation of the city. And many times the city clerk is charged with keeping all the records of the city, maintain the city's finances, and those are pretty key components, and you really need a lot of training to make sure you're up to understand the current rules, because you can get yourself and your city in trouble if you don't know all those rules.
That's true. And you know, our association, we work towards different types of certificate programs. We have a certificate of completion offered for clerks who have over 100 hours of training. We also have a new Masters of Education program and a new program we call MEGS that are for the clerks that have finished their certificate and the Masters, and now we have one further level of training. The clerks can also join the International Institute of Municipal Clerks Association. They also offer training through annual conferences and through regional conferences, and so that's an additional...
So there's continuing opportunities to learn. Because I think one of the things that always gets me, and you know, I've been with GMA now for 16 years, is there's always more to learn. You'll never know all there is to know about city government, and that's got to be very true as a city clerk.
It
doing
is.
The hands-on
You're
part
right,
of it.
and you know, with the legislation changing every year, and a lot of it affects the municipal clerks and finance officers, so we have to really stay on top of the issues that are coming to the forefront, and we need to be very knowledgeable because a lot of times it affects how the city clerks and finance officers do their jobs. So it's important that we are able to provide information to these clerks and finance officers about changing legislation.
Can we talk a little bit about the manual that we're going to start working on? I know my colleague Pam Helton's going to be very involved in that effort, and I think y'all appointed a committee. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. We are actually going to be meeting in July. We have a committee put together that consists of clerks from smaller communities, medium-sized communities, and larger communities. We also have municipal clerks as well as deputy or assistant clerks who are going to serve on this committee, because you need a variety of people who can share their experiences with their communities, so that we can actually make sure that we have everything covered in this clerk manual, because what we want it to do is to be able for them to use it as a tool whenever they are first coming into their position as a municipal clerk or finance officer. Sometimes it's very scary to reach out to people that you might not know, but this would be a great tool that we could put on our website, and it would contain everything that we hope a clerk would need to know.
And when do you anticipate that manual will be finished?
Well, we're just getting started right now, so I would think within the next 6 months to a year we'll have everything worked out, and we'll be able to offer that to these clerks.
And I understand it is, the time involved. It's going to be, on top of all your other duties.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And also, Amy, there's going to be a number of people from GMA involved in this as well, because our legal department will be involved. Of course, Pam's going to be very involved. I'll probably be involved. And just some other people to make sure that we're covering everything. And we want to get this online and have it searchable. And I can really see this as a resource, not just to clerks, but to really anyone who's new to the city, even elected officials, frankly.
That's true. That's true. I'm really excited about this clerk manual.
Are all of the clerks, city clerks in Georgia, members of the organization?
Not all clerks are members of our organization. Some of the smaller municipalities may not have the funds for their clerk to join our organization. We certainly encourage them to join because we have a lot of networking opportunities. But it's not a requirement.
And I know, in fact, you guys are having a meeting tomorrow. You have an annual clerks meeting
We do.
tomorrow morning.
We have our clerks breakfast and summer board meeting tomorrow. I will say that in order for a clerk to get their certificate of completion through Carl Vinson, they have to be a member. Up until that point, they don't necessarily have to join, but if they want that certificate, they'll have to be a member.
And it really, to me, makes financial sense, even for the small cities, to have a clerk who is a member of the organization, because it just provides this whole network of knowledge and resources to that one person that can really help that city.
Right. And our vision statement or mission statement is to promote integrity and excellence to our clerks or through our clerks by offering them educational and professional development opportunities. And we also want to strengthen and support our membership, as well as enhance our image as a city clerk or a finance officer.
Well, and I know I've been so impressed many times being in a city hall, and a question comes up and the city clerk will pick up the phone and call another city clerk. That you guys really have this really strong network and can pick up the phone and bounce ideas off each other. And I know that's one of the unspoken, I think, added benefits of being part of the association.
That's true. We also have district directors, and we encourage them to hold meetings with clerks in their districts, and it's just a great networking opportunity. We also have people who come and speak to their district meetings, and it's just a great way to get to know clerks in different cities in your area.
Yeah. And Amy, I don't know if you and Teresa know this, but early in my career, I served as the assistant city clerk in the city of Rome. I served under Branson Gaylor, who was just an icon in the organization. And I remember going to Athens the first time for those classes, and just the camaraderie amongst all the clerks at that time was really quite impressive, I thought.
Nice to be part of the family.
Yeah, it was. And interestingly, that's how I met Pam. Back at that time, they didn't have enough hotel rooms at the center. So Pam and I, not really even knowing one another, ended up sharing a room.
That's
and here we are, working for the Georgia Municipal Association.
That's so great. Well, Teresa, thank you so much for being with us here today. I hope your meeting goes well tomorrow, and we look forward to the manual and
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be here today, and I look forward to working with you guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Aileen, who have you got lined up for us next?